Yes, dear students, this is the second part of the video, the walrus and the carpenter. Now let us continue that what we studied in the first part, that it has described, the poet has described about the nature where the walrus and the carpenter are walking at the seashore. Then they came across the oyster's bed where so many oysters were there, and what they said, that you come along with us, and they took them miles away. Now, what they are saying, the time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things. What they are now, let us talk about so many things, of shoes and shapes and sealing, wax, of cabbages and kings, and why the sea is boiling so hot, and whether pigs have wings. Now he started these all type of talking, that regarding shoes, shapes, cabbages, kings, and but the sea is so hot, and whether pigs have wings. So these all things he started talking. Then, but wait a bit, the oysters cried. They are saying, that wait, let before starting to chat with each other. Before we have our chat, for some of us are out of breath. They are saying that we are extremely tired, and all of us are fat. Now we all have become extremely tired. No hurry, said the carpenter. That don't, no problem, no hurry, we will talk later. They thanked them much for that we are thanking you that so far you have come with us. A loaf of bread, the walrus said, is what we chiefly need. What they are saying, that we want a loaf of bread is what we chiefly need. We need mainly the bread. Pepper and vinegar besides are very good indeed. What they are saying, that pepper also we have, vinegar also we should have, and they are really very good. Now, if you are ready, oysters dear, we can begin to feed. Now, what he is saying to the oysters, that are you ready? Chalo, khana khate hain. Let us we can begin to feed. Then oysters cried, not on us, but not on us. The oysters cried, turning a little blue. They all became hopeless. They all became against the walrus and the carpenter, that don't feed on us. After such kindness, that would be a dismal thing to do. That you are so kind, you brought us here to have a chat, to have a pleasant talk and pleasant walk. After such kindness you have brought here, and now you are thinking to eat us. So it is not a good thing with us that you are doing. Then what the walrus said, the night is fine, the walrus said. Did you admire the view? See, the view is so beautiful. It was so kind of you to come. And you are very nice. Who is saying? The walrus. See how the walrus is saying that it is good of you. You are so kind that you have come with us. And you are very nice and tasty also. The carpenter said nothing, but cut us another slide. What he is saying, carpenter, that another slide, another slice. I wish you were not quite so deaf. I have had to ask you twice. What he is saying, that go on giving me and cut and give me another slice also. It seems a shame, the walrus said. The walrus is saying it is very shame to play them such a trick, that you have brought the oysters here with such a trick. The walrus is saying to the carpenter that it is so shame that you should not do like this, and you have played the trick and you are feeding on the oysters. After we have brought them out so far and made them trot so quick, that using such a trick ideas, you brought them so far and made them trot. Trot means walking so quickly, because walrus and the carpenter were big, and when the small ones walk, they have to run behind them. So they trot so quickly. The walrus is saying that it is not good, it is very shameful for you to bring them such a far place. The carpenter said nothing. But what he is saying, the butter spread is too thick, that whatever I am spreading on the butter, it is on the slice is very thick. Then walrus is saying, I weep for you. The walrus said, I deeply sympathize. I have so much sympathy with you. The oysters with the oysters. With sobs and tears, he is sobbing, वो सिसक कर रो रहा है, and he is shedding his tears. Those of the largest size, he is crying and holding his pocket handkerchief also before his streaming eyes. Oh, oyster, said the carpenter, you have had a pleasant run. Shall we be trotting home again? You have run very nicely, and now can we go back home again? But answer came there none. There was no answer, because no, not a single oyster was left now. And this was scarcely odd. It is very bad. They have done a very odd thing, because they had eaten everyone. Who has eaten? The carpenter and the oysters had eaten all the oysters. This is very bad thing. So this poem tells us that how people are very cunning in this world, that they tell you to come along with you, and they show you the wrong path in your life, and then your whole life is getting spoiled, and then they laugh on us, and they think that they have done a great job. So you should be very careful, students, with such cunning people who will tell you very sweetly to follow the wrong path, to come along them on the wrong path. But you should be very wise and thoughtful before taking any step. And who was the elder one here? The eldest oyster. Already he told them by winking his eye that don't go with these walrus and the carpenter. But the young oysters who were not obeying the elder oyster, what they ran away with those walrus and the carpenter, and they were cheated, they were eaten up by the walrus and the carpenter. So students, you should be very careful in your life. Thank you.